It's the Frequently Asked Questions podcast. Fuzzy and Quincy today. I like to see good guys win, Fuzz.
Real good guy right here, man.
I love to see good guys win. That's number one. Number two, I love to see people from the soil.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know where I'm going. From the soil that I am from.
Yeah. Do I do this with LA or
Yes, you do. Yes. Oh my gosh. Every time you like, yo, you start saying stuff that, so if you're not from California or LA, that no one would know. You like, yeah, you know, we was on Centella, and I'm like, what's he talking about? Anyway, Centella, we were out in Inglewood by the jungles, like all of this stuff. Anyway, I love
this is hilarious.
I love to see good people win. I love to see people from the soil that I'm from come to LA, be successful.
Yeah.
And I mean, his accomplishments, I mean, worked with Beyonce, worked with Justin Timberlake, worked with Timbaland, worked with Pharrell,
Kanye.
Nominated for a Grammy, worked with Kanye West.
Yeah. We're going to talk about all that.
All of it. We have the Ant Clemons. He is here. Ant Clemons.
That was the best intro I think I've ever received in my life.
Yo, can you sign my tardy slip on something real quick?
Absolutely.
You peep his swag on the shirt?
I see the shirt, and then I see.
You see a what? What is that?
Is that like a?
It's an ant
It's
with
an
the
ant.
beanie on it.
Oh, snap.
I just realized it's
Merch
put
on the
ant.
way.
And and it's Ant Clemons.
Listen, I appreciate y'all.
Let's bring it. We got to bring his mic down.
Okay.
This is real because people
There you
need
go.
to see. Yeah,
Okay. There we go.
We don't want to block your soul
I'm
for the people who are
hollering.
watching on YouTube. Please subscribe to us on YouTube.
Please
FAQ
subscribe.
Podcast. Subscribe to us on
Click,
Instagram.
like, share. Fuzzy and Quincy
Yes.
podcast.
FAQ Podcast. Ant Clemons.
Welcome,
going
man.
on,
Thank
family?
you, brother.
What's
Thank
up,
you for
Philly?
picking up the call for us, bro.
Anytime Fuzzy call, I'm picking that phone up.
Yes.
Stop
Oh,
playing.
Come on,
Dude,
stop.
so me and Ant met, I don't know, was it 2, 3? It was probably 3 years
About
ago.
3 years
It
ago
was
now.
3 years
Yeah.
ago. We were at Katana.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we were kicking it. It was me, Sterling Sims. Shout out to my man Ray from Stereotypes. And we met, and he was like, you know, he's from the crib. He's from Jersey. He's from Willingboro.
Yes, sir.
That's like Willingboro to Philly is like is down the street.
Really?
About
Yes.
10 minutes over.
Yeah.
Like max.
So you be in Philly a lot?
All the time.
Okay,
Like my
got it.
parents are from Philly. So
He
it's
told me
like-
there's a difference between the girls from Jersey and Philly.
Absolutely.
Yes. They are,
So there is a difference.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
Jersey. Well, let's talk about. Let's touch it real quick.
You know, you kind of broke it down. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
No. Women from Jersey are very friendly.
Absolutely.
Promiscuous.
I didn't say that.
Friendly.
Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, I didn't say that. Promiscuous. I didn't say
Promiscuous?
That. You about to get me
Are they?
stabbed?
Friendly.
They're friendly.
And the girls from Philly are like,
Ooh, you just gotta watch it.
They're fun.
They're fun, but some of them are very aggressive.
Very direct.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, very direct.
Okay.
But that's what's cool about the women from Philly. It's like you go there to get the real. It's like straight to it.
damn.
Ain't got time to play around.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my cousin. What you?
That cousin gonna show up.
Yeah,
Shout out to Germantown girls. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's good. But
Is there
dude,
something in Germantown girls?
I don't know.
I'm sure. Shout out to y'all.
I'm hollering.
But all right, Willingboro, bro, you've been out in LA for
About 4 years now.
Which is not a long time.
Fuzz.
I met him in Miami.
Yes.
Randomly at Cool and Dre spot.
Really?
Yes.
Shout out to Cool and
I
Dre.
brought BJ the Chicago Kid for a session.
Family.
And I was like, I said, I know him, but I never met him.
Got it.
Coolest fan.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I met him in Miami. I didn't meet him in LA. I met him in Miami working.
Okay. Set the scene. What was going on in Miami?
Nah, he was just, they played a couple of, they were like, oh, you got to hear Ant, the music that we're working on with Ant. I said, who's Ant?
Yeah.
Like, Ant's the guy. So when he walked in, I was like, oh, I recognized him.
Got it.
Then you end up doing some stuff with BJ, right?
Yeah, right there, yeah.
So I was listening to music. I'm like, oh, this dude's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
do you have you have a signature sound?
Wow,
Is
I
it is
appreciate
it a falsetto? Is it
I like using my falsetto.
you like using
yeah.
your falsetto?
Yes.
Which
I'm
is
supermodel.
That's it. Hey.
Supermodel.
Hey.
You know, that was my song.
Wow.
I would turn on my car and I would hear the song on mine all the time because it starts with the A. And
Yeah,
every time I
yeah.
turn on my car, I'm like, come on, Ant.
There he is, yo. Q actually hit me. It was like, yo, here you go again.
Yeah. I'm like,
the first
Ant,
song.
again. Yeah, it's the first. It was the first song.
Yeah.
That's a good first song.
Where did we start at with Ant? Like
I mean,
4 years in LA is not a long time.
4 years in LA and worked with Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, Timbaland, Pharrell. Usually, it takes 10 years.
No, it
people
takes-
say.
yeah, bro.
God is good.
Tell us why, like,
How did you get to LA?
Yeah.
Through the grace of God, number one.
Right.
And my mom kicked me out. Like,
Wow.
like I love her to death, but she was like, "You're taking my rent money, which was only $300 a month." Like my mom,
Wish you can do that right now.
Which
You can
is
pay that right
listen,
now. I'll
that's
give you
a
2 years.
blessing.
2 years in advance right now.
Look, here you go.
Right.
It was $300 a month on my portion, $900 a month at the apartment in Pensacola where my mom and my sisters and I were living. And she's like, "You're taking my rent money and going to LA anyway, so just go out there." And I was like, "For real?" She's like, "I'm not kicking you out, but I'm kicking you out."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay."
It was a polite kick out.
Yeah, so she's
it was
like,
a kick in the
"Go
butt
do
with
it."
a hug.
Yes, and she's like, "I'm gonna support you as much as I can for a year, and if you can't make it happen in a year, then we're gonna have to figure something out."
Wow.
But she knew that you wanted to do music.
Absolutely. Like, there's been studios in my house since right before my parents got divorced in 2009. Like, I was just always passionate about just making music.
Yeah.
So explain to us what the young Ant Clemons like in Jersey. What were you doing at a young age?
Dancing, singing, playing basketball, like being the life of the party. Like, I was a fake shy kid, so I was like afraid to talk to girls, but like I was always the guy that's just making jokes. So I would overcompensate with all these different jokes and just never stop dancing. My dad used to like whoop my ass because I wouldn't sit still.
Wow.
Who did you look up at? Like, who was your favorite
Michael
artist?
Jackson, hands down.
Yeah, you were impersonate. You were.
Yep, I used to impersonate Michael Jackson as a kid too. I used to do like birthday parties and stuff.
So what's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
It depends on the day. Today is Billie Jean. Just because I was listening to it on the way here, I was like, "This
You
bass
think you listen to
line."
Michael Jackson every day?
I think so.
You know, I met Michael Jackson once.
Wow, let's
Yeah.
talk about that.
No. I mentioned it so many times, but will.i.am is the reason why Big Boy and I met Michael Jackson, bro.
Go, wow.
Yeah, so I will.i.am was saying he was working at the Palm Studio in Vegas, right? Mm-hmm. And will.i.am we were talking, he goes, "I'm working on this remix album." I said, "Man, tell Mike he need to come and do radio because these kids don't know him." He said, "Nah, you want me to tell him?" I said, "Yeah, tell him." I was bullshitting.
Right.
He called me back a couple hours later. He said, "Hey, Mike said he want to meet y'all."
Crazy.
I said, "What?" So we ended up flying to Vegas and meeting Michael Jackson, bro.
Wow.
Off a bullshit like pump fake I did on
That's
some.
the best stuff.
So, Ant, I've heard this story a million times. We were working on the radio together, and it came in the next day.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we was with Michael Jackson. We was like, y'all bullshitting. And I'm, cause we would joke. I'm like, it's like we really met Michael Jackson. And this was 08.
Yeah.
This was 08. So it wasn't like
Jesus.
readily available
No,
on your
it
phone.
wasn't
That's
Instagram.
Michael Jackson.
Like, I wish Instagram was cracking. I would have went up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I never get tired of that story. That's
Really?
no, that's
Nah,
an
that's
amazing
phenomenal.
story.
Hey, dude, I have that picture like in my house.
Wow.
Framed like Gotti, like in a gold frame. Like
Jesus.
yeah. So anyway, you're Michael Jackson. That's the
Huge
go-to
Michael
you.
Jackson fan.
Got it.
When I really started getting into music, I like fell in love with Kanye because I was like, this guy is like that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
You will that.
yeah, it was like all of my favorite people that I used to grow up listening to. I've had the privilege of like being around and working with. Like, I grew up listening to NSYNC. Like, I grew up listening to like Backstreet Boys and then Biggie. So it was Radio Disney and then Power 99 at the same time.
Wow.
I would sneak to listen to Power 99, but in the car with my mom, it was Radio Disney and in the gospel station.
Wow.
So it was like really well rounded. And in the house, we were listening to nothing but Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, like.
Safe secular music.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Safe.
It's good cleaning music.
Yeah.
Good cleaning music.
Nice. So, all right, because like you said, Fuzz, there's so many things. You said Kanye. I was singing All Mine. You were writing for Jeremiah, or you did some
I
stuff?
was writing with Jeremiah.
Okay.
And
Sorry, Jeremiah.
the grace of God, like, I can't tell you how amazing he is. Like, moved out here, met one person and meets another person, being at the right place at the right time. My brother Ray introduced me to my brother Bongo.
Bongo, the
and
producer.
Bongo by the way. And he's like, yo, we got to go to Jeremiah's house. And I'm like, you mean birthday sex Jeremiah? Like, he's like, yeah, like Jeremiah's house. I'm like, what? Like, you know, he's like, yeah, like that's my boy. And I was like losing my mind because 1 year prior, I was taking the bus to Red Lobster, listening to the Jeremiah and Chance album with Bongo Productions, and I'm like, I know the tag.
What, the Christmas album?
Yeah, the Christmas project.
That Christmas album
I'm like,
is fire,
this thing
bro.
is amazing. I was like, y'all flipped.
I love that album.
I Want You Back. Like, it's
You
ridiculous.
can listen to that album anytime.
Anytime.
All right, cool.
And I was already a huge fan of both. So like, yeah, Bongo introduced me to Jeremiah, and all three of us were working nonstop since the first time we met.
Really?
It was ridiculous.
So just imagine if Bongo was a selfish dude and be like, hey, Ant, you ain't in the scene yet. Let me just fall back while I go do this. But he allowed you to come.
No, it was actually ridiculously,
damn, that's dope,
divinely timed. I had a meeting with Sterling, like my brother.
Shout out to Sterling Sims. That's my dog.
And I was meeting with him at UMPG. And after the meeting, I was trying to get up with Bongo, but I was still like just sleeping on my homie's floor. So I ain't had no money for real, getting around, just trying to figure it out. I didn't really know how to tell Bongo, like, yo, can you pick me up? But like, I was waiting for the address to get to Jeremiah's house. Conveniently, Sterling's like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, we in Santa Monica. I don't even know how I'm getting back to the Valley. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah. He's like, yo, I'm about to go to Jeremiah's house. You trying to?
So Sterling was going there too.
Sterling drove. We both pulled up to Jeremiah's house. Bongo was already there.
So you were there. You were meant to be there.
Yo, Ant, studio. So Bongo and I were working in the studio and that in Jeremiah's house. He had a meeting with Sterling, and then afterwards came in the studio. The rest was history. Like, we did like 4 songs that first day. It was amazing.
You and Jeremiah got kind of like the same kind of spirit.
I literally am honored to be even just mentioned in like a name with Jeremiah. Like,
because his pen is ridiculous.
Out of control. He's one of the best of our time.
So, Ant, did you come to LA as a writer or as a artist?
I absolutely came as a songwriter. I grew up as a kid wanting to be Michael Jackson. But it's like, I didn't really think I had a story to tell. So I was like, let me help tell people stories. Let me make myself valuable so that maybe the people I work for could then turn around and say, hey, this guy's talented, and, you know, I support him also.
So how long were you in LA? Because if you have never lived in LA or moved from your city to come to Los Angeles, it's not only intimidating, Fuzz. It's very, coming from where me and Ant come from. It's a totally different world.
Absolutely.
It's almost like I tell my friends, I'm like, it's almost like you need a passport to go to LA because it's such a different world. Like, we come from a world where you don't go over people's houses. You don't. It's not really a lot of things going on for you to interact.
So it's like networking or something like that.
There is no
I'll
networking.
see you maybe at Powerhouse, or I may see you at the Roots Picnic.
Right. I just feel like a lot of you guys from Philly are like very like guards up. Everybody has a like, you know, I'm about to get you kind of.
It's a very aggressive place. So to come out here and try to make it, it's a mental shift that you have to make. But you are already a different person at home.
You're already conditioned.
Yeah.
So like at home, shout out to like my brother Ali Burvine and my brother Brian and Stretch from Genius League. Like, they were like from some of the first guys from like Jersey to really see the talent in me. I was like, yo, you're really dope. Like, we produce in Philly. We're working with Pop and Noak and Donnie and Chase. And
love all those guys.
Let's
Star Island, shout out.
Let's bring you to a real studio and let's see what's going on. So I'm working with them, and I meet Shamika Marie, my sister. She was actually signed to Donnie and Chase. And Shamika just opened me up. She's a songwriter. She opened me up to a whole new world. I was like, what's a songwriter? She's like, wait, you know that Chris don't write all at the time. She's like, you know, Chris don't write every song that he does. I was like, what? She's like, Rihanna doesn't write every song. Like, there's Esther Dean. I'm like, who's Esther Dean?
Yeah.
So you started
opened me up to a whole new world. I started venturing into, wait, who's this person? Wait, who's this guy at the end of Frank Ocean's album? Oh, that's James Fauntleroy. Oh, wow, he's a part of this group called Cocaine 80s. Wow, he wrote all these songs. And the journey of discovering how songs were made, I fell in love with it even more. And I was like, I want to be by it. Absolutely. I want to be mentioned in like the names with those people. So after meeting Shamika, she was like, yeah, we kind of done everything we can in Philly. Let's go out to LA. Let's just go out there and see. And we went out. 2016 was my first time out here for BET weekend. We couldn't really afford too much. Like, we just came out,
what you can do,
and we just took the bus back and forth different places. James Fauntleroy was having a songwriting seminar that I went to, and that changed my life forever because he was talking about the why and why that was the most important part of the song. And I was like, this is crazy, insane, right? So I'm meeting the people that I've looked up to, and this place is real. But then I have to go back home to Jersey to work at Red Lobster to go save up to come back out here.
What are you doing at Red Lobster?
Eating the biscuits.
Serving.
What are you talking about?
You're serving.
I'm serving.
So you're on the bus, 2016 BET Awards. You meet James Fauntleroy. Well, you go to the seminar.
Yep.
And then the next week later, you're at Red Lobster. Like, okay, let me get that straight. That's popcorn, shrimp.
Yep.
Da-da-da.
Yep. I'll be right back with your cheddar biscuits.
What?
They come right out the oven.
Oh, a lot of great people worked at Red Lobster, though.
Not disrespectful.
Nicki Minaj.
But when you realize, like, I was just having this conversation with my homeboy the other day. I was with my boy Solomon. He's like, you know, like, you're still in the service industry.
Oh, see, you guys are thinking on a whole different level.
That's what it's always been. So it's like when I was working, my first service job, like a serving job, was this place called Lionsgate. It was a Jewish community center that my mom works at. She's the concierge over there, and they love her. And they just they hired me, gave me a shot, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I know what a waiter and a waitress is, but I never really understood the whole everything about it. You truly make your money. If you feel like making money that day, you make money. If you don't feel like making money that day, you don't make money. But you have to interact with people. So you have to overcome your fear of talking to people, and you start to figure out what people want and what they like, what they came here for, and what they didn't come here for. They want their food prompt with a smile, maybe good conversation. But you know, you hop in an Uber sometimes, you want to just get to a destination. Sometimes you get to a restaurant, you just want to get your food. So it's like every situation is catered to exactly what that person wants. And you learn all that serving, because it's like, if you don't pick up this stuff, you won't learn how to make money, and you got to eat. So coming out here, like back home, Shamika was living in Philly, and I was living in Pennsauken. So I would take 2 buses. I would take the 409 to Market Street, and take the 23 all the way up to Germantown.
What?
And
That's
just to go work.
Fuzz, that's a far.
Just to work.
Ride.
It's about a 2-hour ride every day just to go work in the studio. Or like catch it to Market Street to then try to catch a ride to Jackson Street, 38 Jackson Street at the studio we ended up working out of. And it was just a different time, because you didn't really waste time, because you appreciated what you had to go through to just get to the studio. Coming out here, it was such a different environment. Like, everyone here is partying. It felt like, it was like, oh, this isn't like at the first level I was at. This isn't like the work environment. People come to the studio to just listen to their records. Like, but I was going to the studio because I really wanted to work. So I was getting talked about in different sessions. Like, oh, have you heard about the guy that's doing 5 and 6 songs every session? Back home, that's normal, because you don't really have too much time. Studio time is expensive.
So you're accustomed, because you had money to spend like that on studio.
Absolutely.
You see how the dots connect in your life?
Yes.
Like, a lot of people don't understand that certain things that you're going through is not for right now. It's
always for
the
tomorrow.
next. Yeah.
And then we realize that a lot of the things that you're going through aren't for you. That's a whole nother conversation. But it's like, when I realized that moving out here, that's when I started getting all the things I ever wanted. I was like, oh, because ain't none of this for me. I'm doing this for some guy back home that had a dream and says, oh, wow, I could put on a red hat and be Ant Clemons.
Speak of the red hat, why?
It's really funny. It's a couple different stories.
I've never heard any story about it. The red beanie. He has a red beanie on.
It's an Instagram. Then you have an Instagram. It was like an Instagram story filter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. A red beanie filter.
That's why you wear it?
Nah. So it's a few different reasons. One of them was I saw this Mr. T video where he was like talking about these shoes that he had.
Yeah.
And they had tape on them. And people was like, yo, Mr. T, you got all these chains and you this, that, and the third. How come you don't switch out your boots? And he's like, I keep them to be grounded and to remember where I came from.
Yep.
Like, originally when I came out to California, I really couldn't afford too much. It was really like save up money for food, plane ticket, can't buy haircuts. So let me put on a hat. If I put on this hat, you might remember me the next time you see me as the guy with the hat. I wanted to be like a cartoon character, kind of like, oh, you know what Mickey Mouse looks like every time with the gloves, the shoes, the Mickey Mouse. So it was that thought process, but then it was also it will keep me grounded when I get to a place where I can take the hat off. Really, I had met Chris Brown in New York randomly, like, and I held a door open for him. He's like, "Oh, thanks, blood," and I'm like, "Oh my God, Chris Brown."
Yeah.
Whew. Next time he see me, he gotta remember me. I'm the guy at the door, right?
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna keep my hat on until I work with Chris Brown. Then by the time I got to working with Chris Brown, it was like by the grace of God, which is amazing. I couldn't take it off because then people wouldn't recognize me without it.
I recognize you by seeing you with the Sunday service team.
Yes.
Because you're the only one. Everybody, Kanye wanted everybody, in uniform with these colors, and you'd be the only one wearing this red beanie.
Kanye is the GOAT.
Was that tough?
It was so fun. It was just when I met Kanye, I was always wearing it.
I'm just saying, like, but Kanye he has a very specific.
Like, he didn't ask you to remove the beanie.
Some performances he did, but like early on, it was like, no, Ant, where's the beanie? Like, we had a GQ magazine for like GQ Italy, where we had like a spread. So I'm actually in a GQ magazine, like in like a whole spread, just wearing my beanie.
Cause you stood out. That you can spot him no matter what.
Yeah, it was fun. But it was really fun.
So how many red beanies do you own?
It's a lot now. It's like a cartoon character. Like, you walk in the closet, it's like a closet full of beanies.
Oh, that's
You have to, because I'm sure somebody using lost them or.
Yeah, I still have like the first one, the one I came out here with.
Yeah,
really.
Actually, a lot of them are very, very sentimental. Like, this one I'm wearing is the third one I got when I came out here.
But it kind of almost nod to Marvin Gaye though.
for sure.
Absolutely. So then it was like when I realized who people thought I was like, well, if you can attach me to something,
That's cool.
Kids will think I'm Where's Waldo, and adults will think I'm Marvin Gaye.
Oh my God.
Wow, I didn't even think that deep.
We're gonna go into
My
some of
mom
these
would
stories of who you willed your mind to work with. But who are those people that you want to work with in the future? Because the people you work with in the past is like
Within a 4
mind
year
blowing.
span, yeah.
I can't wait to work with Drake and Frank Ocean. I really can't wait to work with Frank, Drake, Kendrick. It's so many people. Stevie Wonder.
He is working on a new album.
I would love to work with Stevie Wonder.
You want me to plug you?
Absolutely. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, I was about to say, set it up for us.
That would
But
be
how
a
do you?
dream
But
come
how,
true.
okay, so you meet Stevie Wonder, who's probably one of the best songwriters, Lionel Richie, Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder of that. But how do you do you feel intimidated if you were to get in the studio with Stevie Wonder?
Absolutely. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like you're in the studio to write a song.
All right, I'm
So that's a dream come true.
Man, so who's the first? You work with Jeremiah, and then Jeremiah introduces you to Kanye. You go to Wyoming.
No.
You don't go to Wyoming. All right, so break it down.
So Bongo introduced me to so many people.
Shout out to Bongo.
Like, for real, that's really my brother. Like, I have like a few brothers in this whole industry. Like, Ty Dolla $ign's a true brother. Like, Lawrence and James Fauntleroy are like not just mentors, but like true brothers. Like Terrace Martin, Robert Glasper. Like,
You just recently took a picture of all of those.
all of my people.
Kamasi and
yes.
What were you guys working on?
That was just at an event that was in somewhere in LA. I forgot exactly where it was, but we were just working on just some stuff from our project and just a couple records. It was fun.
That's dope.
It was really, really fun. But like, I'm blessed to be around people that actually put their shoulder around me and like, yo, don't go this way, go this way.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, I'm driving around in Jeremiah's car as we speak. Like, it's a blessing. Like, he sold me one of his cars. He's like, oh, I'm not even driving this. Here, take this. I'm like, I can't even make up a lot of these things.
He's such a good guy though.
Yeah.
You're a good guy though, bro.
But it's to be around great people is a fun thing too.
Yeah.
So Bongo introduced me to Game. Game actually introduced me to a whole bunch of people. I worked with a lot of people in Game Studio with Bongo. Shout out to Game. Like,
That's how I met
really,
Bongo,
really,
because Bongo was working on Game's album.
really, really put me on a whole bunch of different people.
Bongo
Like,
got him some slack.
everybody was just coming through there. So it's like, and he was really, really enjoying what Bongo and I were doing. So he's like, oh, whenever y'all want to come, just pull up. So when we weren't working at different sessions, we were just going to Game Studio and then Jeremiah's house. And then it was just like a crazy circle of Jeremiah and Game and then this person and that person. And by the time All Mine came out and Kanye's people reached out, they're like, yo, where you at? Like I had went home for a weekend because I was just tired of LA and I didn't even know that anything was happening.
Yeah. So you know that song had even made
had no clue, nothing. So when the song came out, I was going home that next day just for the weekend. And just for the week. I got a call asking if I wanted to work on some stuff like with Tiana Taylor. So as soon as I got back, I met Kanye. We were working on some stuff for Tiana. I did No Manners and Hurry on her
Tiana Taylor's.
The Tiana Taylor project. I can't. It's escaping me the name of it. Yeah, the KTS. Keep the Same Energy. Yeah, that album was phenomenal. And she was like,
super cool, huh?
What? Like she's such a perfectionist. Like she knows exactly what she wants to do. So it's like it was so cool being around an artist that was extremely passionate about what they want. Like, no, it has to be this way because this is how I'm feeling. Like, and you seen what she did like with the second project. She's like she dove all the way into exactly what she wanted to do, and it's like I love Tiana. Yeah, like for real. Yeah, but Kanye. I met him once in the Tiana sessions, and then I'm trying to think. He had like just went away, and then I randomly get a call in September. I was setting up something for my birthday, which is the 26th, and randomly on like the 13th, he's like, "Yo, I want you to come to Chicago."
Wow.
I was like, all right. So I pull up to Chicago, and it's myself, Chance the Rapper's there, Candace Owens was there, and Jim Brown.
Candace Owens, the political?
Yes, Candace Owens, Jim Brown, Kanye, and Chance the Rapper. And I was like, what did I just walk into? This place is amazing. And Kanye was working on music with Chance, and it was like a page out of my wildest dreams. And I was like, this is the life that I'm living. And then for the next few weeks or so, I was in Chicago, and I was with Kanye every single day.
So that's how you guys really bonded.
Yeah, and then he's like, yo, I kind of want to go to Africa. And like, it's interesting when Kanye talks, because like, even as a fan of Kanye, I used to tell all my friends, I'm like, yo, he caused all of this. So when he says it's going to happen. So I'm sitting there like,
Africa, okay.
All right, that's like, not like, but it's like, okay, I've never been to Africa. He's like, we will go to Africa. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have a passport. He was like, he walked outside, made a call. He's like, yo, you pack your bags. You'll be back tomorrow. I was like, what? Yeah, you'll get your passport tomorrow. Go back to LA. It's set up. One day, I don't know who he called, what he did. I got my passport expedited the same day. Came right back, and we were working on more records. And then a few weeks later, I'm waking up on a plane in Africa, in Uganda. Like,
what?
It was amazing.
This is your last 4 years of your life?
This is year 2.5.
Yeah.
Two and a half. Yeah.
Do Kanye keep your vocals on All Mine?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So they had to find him as a writer and as an
artist,
performer.
So it was like the whole record was a blessing. So all the people that made that thing possible. That's where the industry
buzz started really popping.
It was fun. It was like Bongo introducing me to Jeremiah. My brother Scott allowing me to live at his house with my brothers Ali and Dre, Triangle Park. Like, we were all a part of that record. Like, Scott recorded me.
A lot of Philly, Triangle Park.
Shout out to y'all. Amazing. Like, those are my boys. Like, and Scott records me doing this idea. I sent it to Jeremiah. He cut a little idea on it. And then Bongo was like, yo, say this word. Like, trying to figure it out. So everybody that was a part of it got a part of the record.
What we're not going to do, Ant and Fuzzy, we're not going to skate by and just like, oh, I got my passport. Went to Uganda. What? How long were you in Uganda with Kanye West?
That was I think we were out there for like 4 or 5 days. It was hot.
You flew private?
No.
Okay.
We flew on a big plane.
Yeah,
with everybody.
Yeah.
And that's 19 hours.
Is this for Sunday service?
No, this was before Sunday service was a thing. This was just Kanye working on an album and wanting to hear the music in Africa. So he's like, I want to
like
be.
kicking this damn table over, yo.
Shut
He wanted to hear the music
like,
in Uganda.
I want to be in nature with my family and played it, and it was amazing. And it's like some of the best time of my life.
He took mad pictures. You had to.
What? All the pictures and there's videos, and it was so crazy. I was calling my mom every day from like a weird number because they had like this little Wi-Fi thing. We were making records on the Nile, like
on the Nile.
Yeah,
inspiration.
It was
creative.
Crazy.
And you're considered a millennial, huh?
Yeah.
Like, so do you like question like I want to floss on Instagram? Like I'm here with Kanye, but I don't want to be that dude. Like
I'm not. What's funny is my manager. Shout out my brother Christian McCurdy. Like he always gets on me about posting more. Like I've never been like.
You don't.
I'll show you something I think is funny or something that's endearing or a story I think that's worth sharing. But I kind of grew up in a space where it was like, don't really speak unless you have something to say.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to be seen every single day.
Yeah.
None of my favorite artists were seen every day. Like, so
Mystique.
It took away from what you liked about him. A lot of the times, like Michael Jackson, you have whatever opinion you may want, but the music spoke for itself.
Yeah.
And then he let people talk. Okay, cool. I don't have to explain myself. When he came out and explained himself, it's like you're still not going to hear me or believe me. So I'm going to live my life. And you're going to say whatever, but it's not going to be true. But the music is still going to be undeniable every time. And that's kind of how like all of my favorite artists are.
This is not normal, man. I just want to be very
know that,
clear.
right?
This is not normal.
No one goes from.
It's fast. It's not even fast track. It's destiny. It's destiny.
It is.
I don't want to shit on you.
Yes.
This is.
It's God.
It's God.
Absolutely.
But this is not normal.
No.
Yeah.
Like God's favor is really heavy on you, bro.
No one goes from New Jersey Transit, right?
No, let's not skip Red Lobster.
That's what I'm saying. New Jersey Transit, catching a bus.
Yeah.
To the Cherry Hill Red Lobster.
Shout out to Cherry Hill Red Lobster.
Yeah.
To I got my passport in one day and I'm in Uganda listening to the music and I'm making music on the Nile River.
Right.
Like that doesn't happen.
He started in 2016.
You started
Out here. I've been making music for.
Yeah, but I want to get it back to my city. We kind of
but LA is.
we put the little.
I love it. Like it was like
We put the and it's
without Philly, I wouldn't have been able to come to LA and do anything. So I love both places, but I love creating music because of LA. It provided so many opportunities for me to go create music in different places, like Atlanta. Like I love creating in Atlanta. Miami, I love creating in Miami. Shout out to Meek. For the first time I went out to the Bahamas. Meek brought me out to the Bahamas, and
talking about Meek Mill.
Yeah, like
Philly.
We worked at this place called the Albany. And then I recently went back there with Justin Timberlake. And it's like, I love working in the Bahamas. So by the grace of God, I've been able to work in all these different places. I went to New Zealand with Red Bull and just did some records with them out there. And that was fun.
Just New Zealand. It's nothing.
No, it was amazing. These are major things. And it's like.
Low key jealous at low key.
Nothing to be jealous about. Y'all have lived a life. But
we're all living.
But it's so cool to think that
your pen is taking you to places bro.
That I never would have even imagined. Like I didn't even know New Zealand existed. Like I knew it was a place, but I didn't know where it was. Like
how proud is your mom, bro?
She is so proud. Both of my parents are so proud. Yeah. My mom and my dad like are so proud. My extended family, my stepmom, stepdad, like all my peoples, like my immediate sisters, like my uncles, aunts, everybody's. It's interesting because it's kind of like they're not shocked because it's like you were always this. Yeah. So like it's just cool that you're able to be yourself around these people. Like I was in the studio with KP, shout out to KP and Usher like a couple days ago, and I had a chance to bring my sister out.
This is crazy, right? Dog.
So my little sister Ashley that just moved out here to LA, she's in the studio, and she's like, "You're yourself." I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, you're screaming and like doing dances, like you got the little Usher chain, like you're yourself. You're not acting like. I was like, that's why I'm here. I was like, and that's why I want you to see. Like they don't want you to be no one else but you.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'm a fan first, so I'm a fan of you. I told you that. I'm like, yo, I grew up listening to QDZ. Stop playing with me. What? What? Morning show? Stop playing. Like,
that's great.
What? And it's so cool to tell somebody, to be able to tell somebody, because you may not have the chance to later. So it's like you gotta cherish these moments. It's like, yo, James, you are the best songwriter I've ever seen. I want to be around you as much as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. Like, he gets all the flowers, and you can call him. But it's weird because he picks up the phone. Yeah, that's the wild part. Like, it's one thing to call on people and reach out, but when they, yo man, what you doing? How you been? How's your family? Like, James Lawrence met my mom. Terrace and Robert met my mom. Like, and they actually asked, like, oh, how's she doing? Like, how's your family doing? Ty will call me and say, bro, how are you?
Wow.
First, let's talk. Cool. Yo, pull up to the studio. I want to play you, but how you doing? All right, bro, love you, bro.
Ty Dolla $ign.
Absolutely. Yes. Like, that's my family.
On the FAQ podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I got to get Ty.
That's the GOAT.
Let me ask you a question. So, what made you're doing, your songwriting's going up, but now it's time for Ant Clemons, the artist, to do a Grammy-nominated album.
Unbelievable.
Happy to be here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that your mom on the? Is that the first track?
Yeah, I was the phone call with me telling my mom that I found out I was on All Mine. It was it's such a moment, and shout out my brother Scott for just capturing it. He was like, "Yo, we did this! Like, yo, we did it!" And it's still surreal. Like, as you're saying it, Grammy nominated, because like the world was kind of shut down, so we didn't get a chance to actually go and experience the whole thing. But my parents, all my parents flew out, and my management and the team had set up some type of, I forgot what the organization was. I think it was music.com. Shout out to music.com. They gave me a billboard. So like my parents came out and see me in the billboard.
I took a picture of it and put it on my Instagram.
Yeah. So we saw me at the billboard, and then we went to the Grammys, and went and watched the Grammys virtually, and it was just so cool having my family out here for that moment. And to think that like just 8 songs that I did that I believed in turned into something that would have been a moment that I remember for the rest of my life.
Man. So explain the album titles. Explain like why you titled that. Like I mean, we're talking about it, but just
so happy to be here is like a hashtag that I kind of like adopted / just started using in 2016, and it was I think it was after church. I realized that your happiness is determined by your location. Right. Joy can be with you at all times, but happiness, I believe, one, is a choice and is normally predicated on your location. Excuse me, real quick. That's so
probably Stevie Wonder.
It's probably Stevie Wonder. It's probably Timberlake.
That's hilarious.
No, I just put the I just put the wop in on.
Stop playing with me. What?
I just put the out there.
Yeah.
That's what the connector do on the FAQ podcast. Frequently asked questions. Fuzzy, Quincy. You know what I mean?
The goats. So where was I? I was so sorry.
Oh man, everyone flew out.
Yes, so they all flew out for the Grammys, and just to think that it was based off of these songs from a project called Happy to Be Here, and it was a hashtag that I kind of like adopted / started using in 2016 to remind myself that, hey, you are here. Like a lot of times, like we're thinking about today, like tomorrow and the next day and the next moves, and you're losing out on something great that's happening right now. Yeah. So it's like, oh, I'm happy to be here. And when I say it, it's like, I remember, wow, I'm here right now. I'm present.
Grounded.
It keeps me grounded. And I wanted to share just that ideal with people, because it's easy to turn on the news and see, oh, it's the coronavirus and this isn't that, this death and despair. Yeah. And you shouldn't be happy. Like, what's the point of you being happy? This is happening in the world right now. You don't see all these people, like, why are you happy? But I believe it's a choice, not all times. You know, emotions normally take over, but when you get to a place in your emotional maturity, you get to choose which emotions you'll feed to. So I wanted to at least be a part of like making people smile. I'm happy to be here at all times.
Name of the album.
If I could be anywhere else in the world.
Self-explained.
Yes.
Where were you when you found out you were nominated for a Grammy?
I woke up in my bed in North Hollywood and was like, what is happening? My phone was blowing up. It was weird. I seen Gayle King like say my name and I was like,
Huh?
what is happening?
He's nominated for Best R&B Album.
Last year. And it was such a honor because just all the amazing R&B music that came out, I was just, I couldn't believe that I'd be a part of history.
The conversation with the elite.
Yes.
Yeah. Man. And you look at his album, then you see features. You see Timbaland's name, Ty Dolla $ign, Justin Timberlake,
Pharrell. Like, you came out.
Was Justin on the album?
Justin wasn't on the actual album. That's actually on his next project.
The next project. Okay.
Yeah.
God, but I mean, those are heavy hitters. Those are like, you're just scrolling, you just go, I don't know this name, Ant Clemons. What the hell? You got who and who? Like that's.
And did you put that album out independently?
Yes. Yeah, we did that. We're independent.
So he saw all the money. First of all,
shout out to Jay Irvin and Human Resources. They were like distribution company.
We know him a little bit.
Yeah.
Hello, Julius.
So let's put this. I'm gonna put my industry hat on. What was the bidding wars like for you? Did I know people were talking about signing you at major labels? They had to. They still are probably.
It's weird because I took a lot of meetings. It was really, really fun just meeting people. I just wanted to really just introduce myself.
Yep.
But I knew at the time that the first project, I just wanted to see like what my value was. So before I went and signed whatever the first thing was, I kind of wanted to like just get a gauge of where I was at. And I still think I have a long way to go before I like
do that,
partner up with somebody. But
bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You just warming up, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
he's in the free throw line right now.
Yeah,
he's just shooting. He's shooting.
You got a tour coming, right?
I'm in the middle of my tour right now. First tour, Happy to Be Here tour. We just did Salt Lake City, Utah.
Shout out to Salt Lake.
And that was amazing. It was so fun.
Was that your first time ever going to Salt Lake?
Yeah, first time in Salt Lake City, and 7,000 people screaming. Whoa. It was crazy.
Wait, bro. You're bringing in 7,000 people?
Not just myself. It was I was a part of a series, but just I performed in front of 7,000. Myself and Noah Cyrus. Shout out to Noah Cyrus.
Yeah,
she's one of the first people to actually put me like as a solo artist on a stage. Like she had a show at the Roxy right before quarantine, and she's like, "Yo, I want you to open up for me." I'm like, "I only got 8 songs." She's like, "Sing,
run it."
And the album had just came out maybe like a week before that. A week and a half before that, February 28th, because I definitely wanted to drop in Black History Month. But yeah, it was amazing. Shout out to Noah Cyrus.
Golly. I mean, I know. I mean, Fuzz, the Timberlake, he has a song video
with Justin Timberlake.
Fuzz, time out. This dude performed at the inauguration.
Yes.
Yes.
And they say both your name.
Yes.
For Joe Biden, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's not.
Wait, was it Justin Timberlake, Kirk Franklin?
So there's a version of the song that's
the version I got. I'm a gospel head.
Me too. And
I'm a gospel. Kirk Franklin can do no wrong.
Kirk is one of my heroes growing up. So like to shout out my brother Dre and shout out to Adam Blackstone. Like they made that happen. Like I was like, while we were working on the record, which I couldn't even believe was happening in itself. Because it was so intricate how it finally got done. There were so many moving pieces, like Justine Skye is on backgrounds and Lucky Day is on backgrounds. Wow. And all of these voices, Justin was doing 32 tracks of beatbox on the song just to get a feel of how the drums should move. Like, it was very, very carefully crafted. And in the midst of it, I'm like, man, we're probably going to do the inauguration. And he's like, all right, man, you know, from your mouth to God's ears, you know, that's all right. You ain't been wrong yet. So I'm like, all right, Justin Timberlake. I'm just, you know, just like I was like, get Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, we're going to perform at the inauguration with Justin Timberlake.
Boom.
But that happened. And it was weird because in the midst of that happening, I was like, I would love to have Kurt Franklin on this. And I told Dre and I told Adam, Willenboro legend, Adam Blackstone.
Oh, my
like,
gosh.
and it was just cool that he knew who I was. Because I'm like, yo, you, Derek Hodge, like so many great musicians from, from Jersey. And I'm like, y'all made this thing come true. Kurt Franklin FaceTimed me and was like,
it was your idea though.
Yeah, he's like, this song touched me, and like, I know exactly what to say, and it was in the middle of recording while he called me and just wanted to make sure, like, he said, yo, I appreciate you for letting me be a part. And I'm like,
I always wondered what was the connection
what?
between Justin Timberlake and Kurt Franklin. I'm like, so really odd, but I can see it.
So Kurt Franklin hitting you up saying thank you.
And I'm like, this is life. God is.
You got to
the
call your
greatest.
mom.
Absolutely. I was like, it was the immediate call.
Hey, like,
right?
Mom, I just talked to Kurt Franklin.
The song was so surreal because I was playing Justin, like, my project when we were working on the song, and he's like, yo, man, we need a song together.
Just like that?
I was like, what? He's like, yeah, man. And I held him to it. I'm like, what's up? He's like, no, let's do that Better Day song for your album. And this was Justin saying, no, this is your song. Featuring me, cool, whatever. But like, this is you.
You can have it.
Yeah, like, yo, this is your song. And like, we gonna do it, but this is like your record. So with Kurt on it, it's like Ant Clemons featuring Kurt Franklin and Justin Timberlake. It's a blessing.
Let's go into Inauguration. So you're like,
That's a big look, bro.
You're at the Inauguration, and this Inauguration is very special because if you feel a certain kind of way, people were happy. A lot of people were celebrating. This was a time that people were like,
because we got that punk motherfucker Trump out the way?
I'm trying to be, I don't know who our sponsors.
What you trying to say?
Yeah, I'm just trying to,
because Trump ass is out.
Yeah. But yeah, so talk about that.
It was surreal. It was really cold. We were in Memphis. It was my first time in Memphis, and we were at the legendary Stax Academy.
Wow.
And it was just...
That's big.
It was so cool because Justin, he does a lot of work with Stax, and a lot of the alumni were in the choir for the singing piece at the very end.
I didn't realize that.
So that was the Stax Academy choir, like some of the present students and some of the alumni. And my mom actually is singing in the choir in the inauguration shot. Lawrence is there from 1500. Yeah. Bongo was one of the first people to help start the entire record. He wasn't actually at the inauguration, but just hearing something that we started and just to think that, like, yo, me and my boy really did this and we really made it like a thing. It's so surreal. And yeah, it was so interesting because I was there and I was present, but I wasn't, because I was like, this is a dream. And then they just yelled cut, and Justin's like, we did it.
Damn.
And I'm like, what we do?
We did it.
And it was done, but it was such an amazing time and such an honor to be a part of history. For real.
That's a big deal, bro.
I mean, dude, you're so humble, and you got so many, like, you could flex so hard on people.
But that's whack.
I know.
Like, that's flexing is whack. Like, you know how it feels to be the butt of a joke? Why would you want to make somebody feel like that?
Yeah.
Like, flexing, I get it, but it's like, I don't. What's the point?
Why?
So, Justin, you get to a point where you're like, I'm listening to NSYNC back in the day.
Yes.
Bye, 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 right? And then Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, that was right.
Bye, 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 bye.
Okay, bye, bye, bye.
Yeah.
Bye, bye.
All right, sorry.
Okay, got you.
So you go from NSYNC, listen to NSYNC, Radio Disney,
Yeah.
to Justin Timberlake saying, "Hey man, that should be on your album."
Yes.
How do you build? Where's the introduction? How's the relationship?
All the grace of God. Like, I always gotta give it up to God, but just by him putting the right people in my life. My team at UNPG knew exactly who I wanted to work with, and Justin was just looking for new songwriters to just be a part of the team.
And you know some of the homies that's working on the album.
And they just connected and say, "Oh, Ant." And it still doesn't even make sense to me, because it's like it happened during quarantine. So I met him via Zoom, and we just talked. And I ran in my closet and showed him I had an NSYNC doll. I was like, look, I'm a fan. Because I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to show them that I'm a fan. That's the fun part of it. Like, and from there, he's like, yo, bro, just take my number. From the Zoom.
Just like that?
Yeah, he's like, yo, I'll be at LA in a couple months. And when he came out, we got right to work. And it was like weird because like I feel like I'm working with a multiverse, different version of myself when I'm working with Justin. Like older, somebody that's been here, that's done it, but he just still loves to make music. So he having fun. Like, and it's just crazy to be a part of just conversations and just be in the rooms with these people. It's amazing.
That's amazing, bro. What's next for you?
Working on this project. I'm getting ready to drop another tape. I'm really, really excited about it.
Can we go in the car and listen?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We get to listen to some.
Yeah.
Do you already have a title for it?
Yes.
You can't say what it is.
Nope.
Still happy to be here.
Always happy to be here.
I'm just excited to see you win. When we met 3 years ago, like the energy was just electric, and just to see your rise.
Still there.
I remember I'm driving down Sunset. I'm like, that's Ant. I gotta take a picture. Ant, you doing it? And then that's Ant with
having
Kanye.
a billboard on Sunset is a big deal.
Yeah, it was right by Pinkberry. I'll never
Yes.
forget. Yeah, you know which one I'm talking. Yeah, I was like, that's Ant, and you're the same dude, man. And I'm just if this is the last 4 years, I can't wait to see what's about to happen in the next 4 years.
I'm
Next
excited.
I can't wait to
5.
see what happens in the next 5 months.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, like for real, like
Yeah.
And you picked up our call, bro. You didn't have to. Like, I don't take for granted what Q and I have built or what either our names are in the industry, whatever the case may be. But you didn't have to do our show, bro.
Stop it.
You didn't have to do the FAQ podcast. And
This is an honor. I'm a fan. So it's like literally, and not just because I knew I was coming, I listen to y'all daily. Like y'all Terrace and y'all KP interview, phenomenal.
Thank you, bro.
Like, so I was like, oh, I hope I can hold a conversation as well as these guys. Their stuff is, I was like, I'm in the stories when I'm listening to y'all stuff.
Nah, bro, but you have a testimony and a story and like,
Thank you.
and that's, Q and I always want to have people to tell their, like, how they get here. Like, and you have a great blueprint, bro.
Thank you.
By the grace of God.
And you're still working on it, man.
Yes. The grace of God, great support system, foundation, dysfunctional family, but a loving family nonetheless.
Who doesn't?
You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's just family.
And it's family, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny when you learn that there's no such thing as a dysfunctional family.
Oh, no.
It's like, that's just family.
Does your father sing? Does your father sing?
He is the best singer in his head.
Oh, in his head.
And he has a nice voice. My mom sings too,
Yeah.
but she dances more. She's like the dancer.
Really?
So,
She has a
like,
great outgoing attitude.
What? She is electric. Both of my parents are just amazing. Like, my dad and I are huge Marvel fans. So, like, I call my dad every other day and we just talk about Spider-Man or just Loki or anything that's going on with that. My mom is one of my best friends. So it's like I talk to her every day.
And you have more responsibility because now your sister's out here.
Yeah. I gotta be big brother 24 hours.
Yeah,
and it's like you're always a big brother, but it's like it's fun to see somebody that took a bet on themselves. Like we talk about my story, which is amazing, but just to highlight my sister, she started a makeup company 5 years ago. Didn't know anything about it. Yeah. Went into learning everything about it. Went to school, learned everything that she needed to. Did the research, got a product on the market that is killing. Like her translucent powder is like that. Shout out to AC Cosmetics. Ashley Clemons.
Dope.
And she's the greatest. She came out here with her boyfriend and they found a place in 3 days. Wow. I was like, that doesn't happen. Like, I know everything that sounds really cool, but I'm like, I slept on floors for a year, so that it's cool to think that my little sister doesn't have to. It's cool to think, and I'm not going to take any responsibility for what she did with her company, but it's just like she was able to see a way for it to be a thing, and she didn't have to super struggle. Like, they are set up right now, and they're going to do exceedingly well.
Nice.
Like, and my other sister Amber is set up ridiculously. She's a DJ and she's killing. Like she's killing. Like she's doing a whole bunch of different gigs in Philly. And actually, when I perform on the 26th in Philly, I'm gonna have her open up for me.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be super fun.
You're performing on your birthday.
Yes.
Back at the crib.
I can't wait.
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah, that's gonna be the fun show.
All right.
Yeah.
Come on, Fuzz, fly out.
I would love to.
Yes, come on, you gotta come.
Gotta get that energy, man.
It is really fun.
Yeah. Listen, I'm happy. Man, can we get up for Ant Clemons?
Come on, y'all. Listen, y'all. Make sure y'all support this brother, man. Where can they find you at on Instagram?
Everywhere, Ant Clemons, AntClemons.
Please, man.
Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Super happy for you, bro.
Thank you, y'all, for real.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Yes.
No, happy
Ant
to be
Clemons.
here.
Listen, FAQ Podcast. Follow us, join us, subscribe, comment FAQ Podcast on YouTube, FAQ Podcast on Instagram. We will see you next time.